Everyone, it is 1:01 p.m. on Thursday, March 2nd, 2023, and I call the Committee of Public Safety meeting to order. I'd like to welcome our members of the committee, Councilmember Tupola here with us, and we'd like to excuse Councilmember Dos Santos Tam and Vice Chair Tolba at this time. Pursuant to Section 92-3.7 Hawaii Revised Statute, this meeting will be conducted as a remote meeting by interactive conference technology with the following procedures in effect for the meeting. Members of the public will be allowed to provide oral testimony on all items on the agenda. When each item is taken up in two ways, in person in the council chamber and remotely via video conference or phone. Before testifying, each person shall state their name for the record and will be limited to a 1-minute presentation on each item. All persons who register to testify in person will be called upon first. When you hear the sound of the buzzer, please conclude your remarks promptly. Persons who have not registered will be given an opportunity to offer testimony following the registered testifiers. Once all the in-person testifiers have testified, I will proceed to remote testimony and will call upon the registered testifiers first. If you are testifying by video conference, when your name is called, please monitor your screen and unmute your audio when prompted. If you are testifying by telephone, I will identify you by the last 3 digits of your phone number. Please listen to the prompt to unmute and press *6. Persons who have not registered and would like to offer testimony, please utilize the raise hand feature in Zoom to be called upon. Some friendly reminders and tips. Video conference from a quiet location if possible. If you're also watching the proceedings on Olelo, please mute your television at the time you are called to testify. And when the timer on screen reaches 0, please conclude your remarks promptly. I'd like to welcome Vice Chair Talba and Councilmember Dos Santos Tam joining us in the chamber today. HRS Section 92.3.7 requires that all votes at remote meetings be conducted by roll call unless unanimous. Therefore, I will first call for objections, and if there are any, I will call for a roll call vote. Written testimonies, including the testifier's address, email address, and phone number, will be available to the public as described on the posted agenda. As a courtesy, please turn off cell phones for the duration of this meeting. Thank you. So first on our agenda is item number 1, Resolution 23-20. This resolution will accept a gift of $4,000 to the city from the 200 Club to fund the Honolulu Fire Department's Manager, Firefighter, and Civilian Employees of the Year Awards. I'd like to welcome Battalion Chief Reed Yoshida from the Honolulu Fire Department.
Good afternoon, Chair Okimoto and committee members. Reed Yoshida, Battalion Chief in the Administrative Services Bureau. Just want to extend the appreciation for your support on this 200 Club funding. Their 200 Club is a nonprofit corporation, and this gives us the opportunity to acknowledge and highlight our manager, uniform, and civilian employee that does outstanding work throughout the year. So we appreciate your consideration.
Thank you, Battalion Chief. Members, are there any questions? Thank you. Okay, we will now proceed with in-person testimony in the council chamber. Clerks, do we have any registered in-person testifiers for this item?
Chair, there are none.
Is there anyone else here from the public who wishes to testify on this item? Clerks, do we have any registered remote testifiers for this item?
Chair, we see one.
Okay. Thank you. Let's see. When I call your name, I'd like to welcome. Oh, aloha, Angela.
Aloha, Akayaka Chair, Vice Chair, and the committee, Angela Melody Young, testifying on behalf of Kapalama NSW. We've had to talk to HFD during investigation. because we're at the front lines of our safety response. So we just really want to support HFD in any way that we can. And especially because they have a very trained canine unit, Eve, that we heard from previously. And if there's any way that we can support that squad, because the canine unit is very trained to investigate and it is very precise during its investigations. So, yep, any way we can support HFD, a good thing. Thank you for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you, Angela, and happy birthday again to you.
Thank you.
Seeing no other online testifiers? Members, we are in discussion. Yes, Councilmember Tupola.
Just in support, Chair, just want to congratulate the manager, firefighter, and civilian of the year, and of course, our gratitude to all the firefighters for their service to us and to our communities.
Thank you, Councilmember Tupola. Anyone else? Okay. I'd like to just echo my gratitude as well. I grew up as a firefighter's daughter, as I've stated several times before. So thank you for all that you guys are doing, and grateful that you guys are the first responders to anything in our communities. And we'll look forward to supporting you guys, and grateful for the donation that was given to you to recognize the hardworking members of your department. Mahalo. Okay. So the chair recommends that Resolution 23-20 be reported out for adoption. Any objections? Any reservations? Hearing none, so ordered. Thank you. Item number 2, Resolution 23-17. This resolution will confirm the appointment of Dr. Elizabeth Char to serve on the Police Commission for a term to expire on December 31, 2027. I'd like to have Dr. Char come up. Dr. Elizabeth Char, I'd like to welcome you up as the appointee. And Sam, did you want to come up at the same time or after her? Okay. Aloha.
Hi, aloha. So I think it's an honor to be asked to, serve your community. And if I'm confirmed, I look forward to being a productive member and to contribute to the Honolulu Police Commission. Thank you.
Thank you, members. Do we have any questions? Yes, Vice Chair Toba.
Thank you, Chair. I just, curious because you come from the medical profession. How do you think you can bring, your expertise, your qualities and everything that you've done to the Police Commission?
That's actually a really good question, and I kind of thought about that when I was asked to serve. I think it's on many levels. On one level, just that I'm used to working with the community. We see people in the emergency department. You see people who are down and out at their worst, having the worst day of their lives, and it's our job to try and help them the best we can. I also think that being on the commission is not necessarily about having upfront, an expansive knowledge about what the police department does or how they function, but to bring some, rational, thoughtful, very committed attitude to sit there and to listen and to hear what's being said, and then make sure that we're making good and reasonable decisions based on that.
Awesome. I look forward to spending time with you as we move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Councilmember Tupola.
Thank you, Ms. Char, for being here. And of course, thank you for all your service throughout all branches of government, county and state included. And I have talked to a few former and current EMS staff that worked with you back in your EMS days, and they all had nice things to say. So my question to you as a possible incoming commission member is, what do you think are the 3 biggest things facing HPD, and how do you think you will add to the conversation or to the improvement thereof?
I've been trying to keep an eye on the goings on and things that, like at the last full council meeting. And I think one of the big challenges is not specific to the police, but certainly it affects them, and that has to do with staffing and hiring. That's a huge problem, and it's in the private sector as well as government, and I think it's all facets of government. So I think as a commissioner, it behooves us to be supportive and to really evaluate what's being done, and then to ask those questions. If that's one of the top priorities for the police department, then give us updates on what's being done and what kind of progress has been made, and really to keep that at the forefront and keep track of it. I think there are some other really big issues in the forefront. One of them has to do with the concealed carry. That's not up to the commission, but I think as a commissioner, we need to be aware of what issues the police department is facing and to make sure that, that we have a global understanding of it. That's to be decided by you folks, not the commission. But I think it makes sense to be informed and to stay on top of those things. And I think, as we just look around our community, we're seeing more and more issues having to do with homelessness and healthcare and mental illness and substance abuse. And really, I think that's all tied together. And so I think if we can look at it from a more global perspective, rather than just, somebody who doesn't have a home to live in, and really get into the roots of things like that, I think that will create a stronger community. And certainly that impacts the first responders, including the police department. So I think just to bring a perspective that's a little bit more of a global perspective will be helpful.
Thank you. That was very thorough. If I can just throw two things out there for you to take with you into the commission. First off, thank you for addressing that staffing is number one. So last year, February, we were at 320 vacancies. Last year, September, we were at 348. As of today, we're at 393. I have no doubt we're going to go over 400. If we don't do something about it, it'll go over 400 by 2024 for sure. So I'm going to bring it up in the resolution that I'm going to discuss later in Resolution 22250, but please be aware that we have kind of addressed it from many angles. Would love the commission's support to continue that conversation until we actually make a dent in that. As a former EMS person, you cannot operate when you don't have enough coworkers there to adequately support you on scene when you get emergency calls. So this is like number one. Lastly, for homelessness, I know it's not necessarily the police purview, but they are using special duty officers at Honu, and that's a lot of money. And I do need more I do need more CPT officers, community policing officers, out with us when we do our outreach. And of course, they're tasked to work with DFM to do SPOs. And people want to see more of that. In fact, Councilmember Tolba and Dos Santos Tam have increased sit-lie areas that they want to expand to. So we're not going to be able to do that, one, without the staffing, and two, without more CPT officers. And we should be thinking about the utilization of these funds when we're hiring special duty officers to come out there, because that in and of itself is a huge bill for the city to foot, when we really should be thinking about where is the best place for us to put an officer when addressing a homeless issue. So I know this is like new to you, but I need you to not forget those two things, because I think they're very important and they're part of every conversation we have. So thank you, Ms. Char.
Thank you, Councilmember Tupola. Any other discussion? No. Okay, thank you. Chief of Staff from the Mayor, Mr. Moku, would you like to share anything?
Aloha, Sam Moku, Chief of Staff. I just wanted to share our support, the administration's support for Libby in stepping up. What she did mention about her problem-solving skills and being able to look at it from a different perspective is an important part of being a part of that commission and other commissions as well. So we are definitely proud of having Libby step up in this role. So just thank you for your support. And
Thank you. Members, do we have any questions for Mr. Moku?
Real quick, Chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Moku, for being here. Just give our gratitude to the mayor for this choice. Obviously, it's going to be great to have a former first responder in this role. I think her background is stellar. I think that what she's going to bring to the table is different, right? It's not a former enforcement officer. But to be honest, a first responder understands many more things than just the department they serve in. So thank you to you, and thank you to the mayor for this choice put in front of us today. Thank you, Chair.
thank you,
Thank you,
Councilmember.
Councilmember Tolba. Okay, thank you. Thank you,
you.
Sam. Okay. We will now proceed with in-person testimony in the council chamber. Clerks, do we have any registered in-person testifiers for this item?
Chair, we have none.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to testify on this item? No? Oh. Please come to the pulpit. If you could introduce yourself. Oh, it was on earlier, actually. There we go.
Good afternoon, Chair Okimoto and members of the committee. My name is Katie Arita Chang, and I'm proud to be here to support Dr. Char's nomination. I worked for Dr. Char at the Department of Health, and she really led us through unprecedented challenges and crises, and did so with grace, with humility and inclusion, always making sure to make sure that underrepresented communities had a voice at the table. I know she'll bring this same dedication and work ethic to the commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Did we get her name on record? Were you able to get her name on record? You stated your name. I'm sorry, I didn't. Could you restate your name just for the record?
Sure. My name is Katie Arita Chang.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Clerks, do we have any registered remote testifiers for this item?
Chair, we have one.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Aloha, Angela.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, and the committee. Angela Melody Young, testifying on behalf of Kapalama Neighborhood Security Watch. We are a grassroots safety initiative of the HPD. And we worked quite closely with some of the District 8, District 5, and District 6 officers, Waikiki, Nanakuli, and Kulichi, Honolulu. So we are very much so in support of the nomination for Dr. Char. And, we saw the way that she led during the pandemic and, led the Department of Health. And it was, she led in a very effective manner, efficient manner, and she answered all the questions from the press. So I think she's going to be an amazing asset. Also, because of the way that homelessness is defined by the federal definition from HUD, chronically homeless is someone who experiences a disability. I really think that having a doctor there is going to really help guide the process. Thank you for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you, Angela. That concludes our registered testifiers. If there is anyone else who would like to testify, please use the raise hand feature in Zoom. If not, we will continue on. Members, we are now in discussion. Okay. The chair recommends that Resolution 23-17 be reported out for adoption. Any objections? Any reservations? Hearing none, so ordered. Item number 3, Resolution 22-250. This resolution urges the Honolulu Police Department and the administration to establish a new Y&I Patrol District 9 by 2024 and consider providing officer recruitment and retention incentives. Members, we distributed a hand-carried proposed CD1 amendment submitted by Councilmember Tupola, and I will defer to her for the explanation.
Thank you, Chair. Just real briefly, committee members, I did change the word established by 2024 to establish a plan. So when meeting with the chief of police, obviously we don't want to write things in this resolution that can't happen. So in the event that a new District 9 cannot be established by 2024, I had asked that we at least have a plan to establish that. What are the steps forward for us to get there? So that's just the major, amendment in this CD1. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember Tupola. And I believe with us we have Major Gail Beckley from the Honolulu Police Department.
Good afternoon. I want to thank you, Councilmember Tupola, for this. We do really appreciate it, and we do support in the intent of this totally. And I'm glad. Thank you so much for changing that to a plan instead of like established, because that's a little bit of a hiccup for us. We totally would want that to happen, but there's so many factors involved. Yeah. But I'm here to stand by for any questions that anybody might have, the public or.
Members, are there any questions? Yes, Councilmember Tupola.
Thank you, Major Beckley, for being here. Just committee members, this lady's a superstar, okay? She's from YNI. She is the major in the YNI District 8. She could have retired, but she never did because we can't let her retire yet. And so I just wanted you to explain to them. I did take Councilmember Okimoto out there. I'm trying to take Councilmember Toba, Councilmember Dos Santos, and you can come to YNI anytime you want. Explain to them why it's important for us to have a live scan machine. What is that and why is it needed?
Yeah, it's very important for us to have the live scan machine. That's how we process the arrested adults. So we do use Y&I Station to process some of the juveniles because we do it the old-fashioned way of the ink and cards. But the live scan is connected to the state computer system where all the adults are arrested, and we don't have that. But I'm happy to inform the committee that we did get word that we should be getting one by the summer. I don't want to give you an exact date, but we were promised by the summer. So.
We'll believe it when we see it. It's
Yeah.
from the AG's office, and we appreciate them, jumping in to help us. Could you also explain what the top floor of the station looks like currently?
Yeah, the top floor is unfinished. The only thing that we have upstairs is the locker rooms, the bathrooms for the male and the females, and then we have a little small exercise room. Everything else is nothing. There's nothing in there. There's no aircon. There's no walls. There's no outlets or anything like that. So I'm not sure, because we weren't around when this thing was planned out back in 2015, 16 when it was built. So we're not sure what the intent was. I'm pretty sure the intent was to make this a district station and eventually house all the personnel needed for a district. The detectives, the misdemeanor follow-up details. We actually have other detectives like narco, CID that would sit in that area that we have on the second deck. But it's unfinished. And every year I do, for the last 2 years that I've been here, I do put in for at least maybe, because there's like 4 unfinished rooms. So I do put in for CIP funding to get at least maybe 1 room finished or a couple of rooms finished. But so far I haven't gotten that approved. And also, I also do submit in my budget request to get more personnel, because with a district we have to have all those different personnel, the major captains, secretaries, we need clerks, we need, there's a whole wide variety of personnel that we need. So every year we do put in in my budget, I do put that in.
And just for clarity, the chief has said that they'll be putting in at least 1 desk, whether it's for a detective or whatnot. But as the major has stated, it has not gone without request. We've been requesting it for some time. Last question for you. Can you explain to the committee how many officers are at the $16 million new Y&I station?
Currently, we count it like as a storefront, like a substation. And we mandate 1 officer sit there to handle any walk-ins or any type of security for the station. So it's just really basically 1 officer. But of course, the officers that are on the road, they go there, they do the reports. The sergeants go there and they do the reports. But we just mandate at least 1 officer to sit there to handle the walk-ins.
Thank you, Major. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember Tupola. We'd just like to welcome Councilmember Say, who joined us in the chamber. Councilmember Dos Santos Tam, please.
Well, thank you, Major, for joining. And I would like to get out to the Leeward Coast, which I don't have the ability to do. So it'd be nice to get out there. But you mentioned that we built this new facility, 7 years ago, and it's unfinished. We had a request last year. Do you know how much that the request was for last year? And do you have an estimate of how much it would take to fully build out the top floor?
The last estimate I got, I think it was pre-pandemic, it was about $5.5 to $6 million to finish. But that was before, I don't know, like prices are up now for all the different type of lumber and all that, so I'm not sure what it would be for today.
Thank you, Councilmember Dos Santos Tam. Members, any other questions? Okay. If not, we will now proceed. Thank you, Major Beckley. We'll now proceed with in-person testimony in the council chamber. Clerks, do we have any registered in-person testifiers for this item?
Chair, we have some.
Okay. Those of you who are here in person, when I call your name, please come up to the podium, press the on-off button located at the base of the microphone. That's something everybody seems to forget. So there's a button right here. If you see the red light, you're on. And then begin by stating your name for the record. So on record here, I have Nicholas. I don't want to pronounce this name incorrectly from Shopo. Is it Schlapak? Did I say that correctly? And following Nicholas is Patty Kahanamoku Teruya. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly.
It's not a problem, ma'am. I was born with it, and I'll have it forever, so. All right. Good afternoon, council members. My name is Nick Schlepak. I am the Honolulu Chapter Chair for SHOPO, State of Hawaii Organization of Police Officers. And just to be clear today, I am testifying only on behalf of SHOPO. I am here in support of this Resolution 22250. I hope that it advances. I have been a police officer for approximately 15 years. I did a portion of my initial training in District 8 in April of 2009. The department was talking about District 9 then, and they're still talking about District 9 now. This needs to happen. There are 23-man beats out there. There were 23-man beats when I was there in 2009. It's not changed. Nothing has ever changed, regardless of the fact that there is a station there, a brand new one, and also that the population out there has increased exponentially since then. So we are in full support of this. We are also in full support of anything that can be done from the City Council or otherwise to increase the amount of staffing in the department and take care of those 393 vacancies. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schlepak. I got it right this time, correct? Members, do we have any questions for Mr. Schlepak? Yes, Councilmember Tupola.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for being here. And my questions are in regards to a very small subsection in this resolution suggesting that SHOPO pursue any type of supplemental agreement with the city administration in regards to incentives. With us approaching 400 vacancies, I need to know where is SHOPO at with those conversations? What does our administration or HPD think about this in regards to some type of incentive to encourage people to want to join the department?
Sure, thank you. So have we been in discussion with the department of regarding that? Yes, we have. I have given Chief Logan and his administration some examples of what outside counties have been doing in the past. Both Maui and the Big Island are currently researching incentive options for their officers. And of course, we're constantly struggling with agencies on the mainland who are offering either recruitment signing bonuses or what we call lateral transfer bonuses. So to give you an example of what some of those things might be, and one of them just came up today that I was just made aware of, North Las Vegas Police Department is offering a $30,000 signing bonus. Some other signing bonuses that are out there that are very competitive: Phoenix Police Department, $7,500 to sign. Vancouver, Washington Police Department, $10,000 to sign. And Aurora Police Department in Colorado, $10,000 to sign. Now that's just to sign a new recruit. In order to entice people to laterally transfer over from another department, for example, coming down to Honolulu and telling our incumbent officers, hey, would you like to come up here and work for us? We'll give you extra money. Seattle Police Department, $30,000 signing bonus for laterals. Let me see. And in Glendale, Arizona, $10,000 for in-state laterals, $7,500 for out-of-state laterals. Currently, the Honolulu Police Department has nothing like that whatsoever. We offer no incentive. It's my understanding in Maui, currently they're working on a $750 per month incentive for retainment, regardless of how much time you have in the department, $750 a month. And they've done that in the past through supplemental agreement with us. It's very easy to do. If the money is there and the department is willing to do it, it can be done outside of regular contract negotiation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember Tupola. Members, any other questions for Mr. Schlepak? Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. So next we have Patty Kahanamoku Teruya.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Aloha.
Aloha.
Sorry about the tire. I just came from workout, but I needed to be here. Such an important resolution regarding my community. Aloha kako, Patty Kahanamoku Teruya. I serve as one of the DHHL Oahu commissioners. I'm here in the capacity of the chair of the Nanakuli Maili Neighborhood Board 36. I'm just going to highlight some of these important measures that we talked about. In February, our neighborhood board took unanimous vote to support Resolution 22-2050, urging Honolulu Police Department to establish the new police district. The police station, without any objections, the police station, just to mention, was torn down in 2026 during Mayor Cardwell's administration. Myself and many others attended the grand opening there, hoping that the police station was going to be open maybe a year or two. This is 2023. The police station in Waianae has been sitting there brand new as a museum to our community. I think it's a very insult that we continue to drive on Farrington Highway and to see a brand new police station not opening for the community and functioning to serve the Waianae coast. It was said it was supposed to be enable faster police service, improved services on the Leeward Coast for residents, and also to officers to be stationed there, to equip there, and to also process arrestees. I'm gonna conclude.
Thank you. If you
Our
could, yeah,
community has
summarize.
been asking for more police officers, for more help on our side. I did want to add this important measure to add that the Waianae Coast has taken a burden of having the city's Waimanalo Gulch landfill in our district for many years, taking all of your district's Opala. It is about time that we, Waianae community, you should be helping us to improve public safety for a community. In other words, a community benefit package providing funding for the Waianae Police Station. We stand in support of the Honolulu Police Department, D8, and many officers that serve our community with passion and service with aloha. I urge the council members to support this with funding Resolution 22250. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Members, do we have any questions for Ms. Kahanamoku Teruya? Yes, Councilmember Tupola.
Just wanted to thank you, especially for taking up quick action on the neighborhood board level to support this. The actual blessing photo, you're in it in 2016. She was there. How long have you heard them talking about a potential District 9?
Thank you for that question. And it's been many years. I served on the neighborhood board for 29 years this year. And we've been pushing for the station to be open. We've been pushing for more police officers. Currently, under the Chief Logan's administration, we are short 350 officers from Ewa Beach in District 1 to Ke'awa'ula, which encompass the entire Waianae Coast. So this is not a new thing. It is back to council members before you, Ms. Tupola. And so this has to be done. This has to move forward in opening it up.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you. Mahalo.
Thank you, Councilmember Tupola. Members, any other questions? Thank you, Ms. Kahanamoku Teruya, and thank you for your years of service in the community. I'm sure your community. Oh gosh, you know, I will just quickly add that when we did the site visit, I complained about coming to Mililani, from Mililani to here. Councilmember Tupola, oh my gosh, yeah, that's a hard trek. So Tyler, when you're ready to go, well, maybe we'll carpool together. It's a far trek. So thank you for making the trek down here. Let's see, any other in-person testifiers, non-registered, who would like to testify at this time? Seeing none. So we will now, yeah, thank you. Members, we have a list of registered remote testifiers that we will now.
Chair, if possible, I think there's a few elected officials that need to get to hearings. If you see them on, if we can prioritize. I'm not sure if they're still on.
I see the first one here is from the office of Senator Maile Shimabukuro. Is she on herself, or is Luis Caldera on?
I see Senator Favela on, and I know he needs to go to hearing. And
I will change the order. Okay, we'd like to welcome Senator Kurt Favela, who is joining us online. Aloha, Senator.
Aloha. Thank you, Chair, and thank you, council members. I am in full support. I echo previous speaker. It's a long time overdue, but not just having a District 9. We know we're short almost close to 350 to 400 officers, but we have to have an incentive that we need to really prioritize our first responders, especially our HPD officers, who always get the short end of the stick when it comes to any kind of stuff, domestic violence, arresting somebody. They always get blamed for it. We need to prioritize them in the district and have this thing done. I'm full support of 250, but the bottom line is what we need to do for them is also we need to look into, Chair, and maybe enhance this a little bit into getting new officers in there, and even the officers that is there to retain them. We should look, we're always giving everybody in the world, everybody all over the world, tax incentives. Yeah, why don't we do it for their land tax or some kind of incentive that we could keep and retain our officers who have homes and retain that. because I think that's how we can help with the solution in having and manning our new District 9, which I really totally support. So again, in closing, I know we got to go and whatnot, but I totally support this bill, Chair, and I wish that, you guys support it and move it ahead. And you guys always can count on me, whatever you guys need to help push whatever we need on the state side. But again, thank you for letting me testify. Take care and God bless.
Mahalo, Senator Favela. Next on the list for online registered testifiers, I have from the office of Senator Miley Shimabukuro, Luis Caldera. Is that?
Aloha. Aloha, Chair. Aloha, everyone. My name is Luis Caldera from the office of Senator Shimabukuro. And Senator Shimabukuro is in support and in the intent of the resolution urging the Honolulu Police Department to establish a new Waianae Patrol District by 2024. It is the largest population of Hawaiians in the world. And this aligns with the overwhelming amount of liquor stores we have on the coast, minors drinking, individuals struggling with drugs, depression, and mental health concerns, as well as homelessness along the coast. Over the years, there have been many conversations regarding HPD staff shortages. In addition, there is also consistent requests from the community at neighborhood board meetings to increase public safety and to provide adequate enforcement for her constituents. I'm here to take any questions that you have for her. And I just wanted to mention that between 2014 and 16, with Councilmember Pine, I was able to witness it being built. And unfortunately, $5 to $6 million was allocated, diverted to the antenna that could not be moved during the construction, nor can the function of the antenna be stopped. So there was $5 to $6 million that went to just having that that put together, and that wasn't part of the original allocation. So that might be one of the reasons why the police station is not fully erected. Thanks again, Chair, and enjoy your day.
Thank you, Mr. Caldera. Next, I have Mr. Michael Rice.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Michael Rice, testifying in support of this measure. I'm a lifelong resident of the Waianae Coast. I live in Makaha. Basically, we really do need this station. Any accident that occurs between Haleakala Avenue and Kalaeloa Boulevard pretty much shuts down the entire Waianae Coast. So, and those 23 officers we supposedly have, in practice, that's what we're supposed to have, but we only have around 18 or 19. Apologize. And when police respond out here, they respond in force. I've seen as many as 6 officers respond to one domestic disturbance incident, and that takes up a good chunk. So, if we got all these officers holed up in Waianae and then a telephone pole falls across Franklin Highway, and there's something big, major going on in Eva Beach, they're kind of SOL, if you get what I mean. And of course, as they say, we need to try to get as many police officers as we can retain. I know this isn't the exact number, but the estimate is we lose about 12 officers a year and we only gain 10. I know that's not the exact number, but that's about what it is. All right, thank you. That's right.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Rice. And finally, on my list of registered online testifiers, I have Ms. Tiana Wilbur.
Chair, testifiers not logged on.
Okay, thank you. So do we have any, that concludes our registered online testifiers. I see Angela Melody Young on standby. Okay, thank you. Aloha, Angela.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, and the Public Safety Committee, Angela Melody Young, testifying in strong support on behalf of Kapalama NSW, and we are in strong support. I'm looking at some of the resolutions from last year that went through the House and the Senate, HCR 157 and Senate Resolution 78 and Senate Concurrent Resolution 88. All were encouraging the Honolulu Police Department to allocate additional resources to increase police presence on the Waianae Coast and to create a new police district. So we can see that effort has been ongoing, so we are very supportive. And in the Senate Concurrent Resolution 88, it says that an existing Waianae community policing team focuses on crime reduction through prevention, reporting, and enforcement. However, increased staffing and resources for the CPT are warranted and needed to serve the growing Waianae area and adequately manage the new police station. So it looks like that's what was lacking, and that's what was noted in the resolution from last
Mahalo,
year.
Angela. If you could
Thank you for
wrap
the
up your
opportunity to
testimony.
testify.
Thank you, Mahalo, Angela. Is there anyone else standing by who would like to testify online?
Chair, I see one.
Okay, if you could please state your name and proceed with your testimony. Oh, aloha, Representative Garcia.
Oh, hi, aloha, Councilmember Okimoto and members of the community. Thank you so much for this time to come and testify. I'm testifying in strong support of this resolution. It's much needed on the west side, west Oahu. You know, there's so much officers who basically patrols from Eva all the way out to Kaena Point. So having this is crucially important, and I'm in full support, and my community is in full support. So please pass this resolution. Thank you.
Mahalo, Representative Garcia. If that concludes our online testifiers. Thank you. So members, we are now in discussion. Yes, Councilmember Tupola.
Thank you. And thank you, committee members, for just, allowing me to Waianae this place out. So mahalo. Can I have Sam Moku come up, please? So just, I do appreciate Major Beckley being here, and I think she and I are on the same page, but I just need to say some comments to the administration. See if Sam can take it back, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So, Mr. Moku, what's really important about this, and I think nominee Ms. Char brought it up, staffing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the small paragraph that I wrote about it is out of our hands, actually. Here at the council, we cannot engage in any supplementary agreements. That's between you guys and the department. In the 2021-2022 fiscal budget, HPD actually gave back $18 million. Now, former Chief Vanek, he explained why. There's a lot of good reasons, but any monies coming back to us from HPD is unacceptable, because with all of our staff deficiencies and this station that would love to have some tile, aircon, anything, we cannot be giving any money back. So I really need them to take it seriously, especially because if Mayor Bisson is about to sign an agreement to have a retention stipend, there's no way we can't be doing this, because Maui is way below us, maybe around the hundreds in their vacancies. We're up to almost 400. I'm very concerned that I've only seen the number tick up. So as I've seen it tick up and I hear 30 grand here, 10 grand here, and I'm not saying that that's the only reason, but that's a big reason why people might leave and go to a different department, because they might get a lateral transfer bonus, maybe because living here isn't as cheap as they thought. So I had suggested in the resolution a $1,500 stipend for signing on for housing, even just for housing, for guys who are just starting in the academy. The starting pay, now not on paper, but the actual net that you get back for most guys is like $1,400 every 2 weeks. No one wants to sign up for that. And it's become a profession that slowly people don't want to be a part of because of all the stigma. So I just really need to impress that our issues with trying to establish a D9 will come, but it can't come without us addressing staffing in a major way. So if you could please convey that to the administration, that in the Public Safety Committee, we outlined this, and in this resolution in detail, I worked on all of this so that it'd be very clear what I think could be a solution and not just whining about what needs to happen. So thank you for sitting in this hearing. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember Tupola.
Thank you, Councilmember. I'll take that back. Mayor is well aware of the needs at HPD. So in our meeting today, he did express that in our meeting and at the cabinet meeting. So thank you for you.
Thank you, members. Any other discussion or questions for Mr. Moku? Oh, Councilmember. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you, Sam. Councilmember Dos Santos Tam.
Yeah, just a comment in general. This is actually about the CD1, but I'll bring it up now. I really appreciate the proposed CD1, especially how it not only addresses, the budget issues and the staffing issues, the retention, but it also mentions other initiatives. I see that Weed and Seed is particularly called out. Weed and Seed has been a wonderful program in Chinatown for the Palama and Iwalei areas. I'm hoping to get that back in a really robust way in town, and I think other communities deserve to have that. And so I'm really glad that Councilmember Tupola is specifically mentioning this program. and I hope it'll be really successful out on the Leeward Coast, in addition to all of the other things that we're calling for here, because Lord knows we need all of these things.
Thank you, Councilmember Dos Santos Tam. Any other discussion? Okay, I agree, and I think something I've learned a lot just in being in the committee the past couple of months is that the public safety is so important in all of our communities, regardless of where we live. And so I'm grateful that we can come together from our districts and find ways that we can work together, find the commonalities, but also how we can support each other in our specific area. So thank you. Okay. The chair recommends that Resolution 22-250 be amended to Councilmember Tupola's hand-carried proposed CD1 OCS 2023-0175 3/1/2023 1:29 p.m. Any objections? Any reservations? Hearing none, the resolution is amended to CD1. The chair then recommends that Resolution 22-250 CD1 be reported out for adoption. Any further discussion? Any objections? Any reservations? Hearing none, so ordered. Okay. Almost pow, guys. Members, the last item on our agenda is item number 4, Council Communication 46. This is a draft committee report on the review and evaluation of the Citizens Advisory Commission on Civil Defense pursuant to Ordinance 17-44, codified as Chapter 3, Article 15, Revised Ordinances of Honolulu 2021 as amended. The committee will take action on the report, making recommendations to the council on whether the charter provisions establishing the commission should be retained, amended, or repealed. After due consideration, the committee finds that the commission's report includes a summary of accomplishments for the preceding 5-year period. That although the COVID-19 pandemic initially inhibited the commission's ability to meet, they were able to use interactive conference technology that allowed members and the public to attend the meetings remotely. That the commission did not incur any costs to operate. That the commission concluded the charter establishing the commission is not consistent with the 2007 reorganization that renamed the Oahu Civil Defense Agency to the Department of Emergency Management, and recommend that the charter be amended to change the commission's name to Citizens Advisory Commission on Emergency Management. Based on the findings, the committee agrees with the recommendation to rename the commission and will be working with the mayor's office to draft a resolution utilizing the mayor's reorganization power to effectuate the name change. I'd like to call up Director Hirozaki Toya from the Department of Emergency Management.
Good afternoon, Chair Okimoto and members of the Committee on Public Safety. First, thank you very much for your continued support of public safety programs in the city. Really, really appreciate that. With regard to this report, we do agree with the recommendation to change the name. And I've been informed that the administration is prepared to draft the resolution to effectuate the name change. And I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Director Toya. Members, do we have any questions? Thank you, Director. Okay. Seeing none, we'll now proceed with in-person testimony in the council chamber. Clerks, do we have any registered in-person testifiers for this item?
Chair, there are none.
Is there anyone else here from the public who wishes to testify on this item? Okay. Thank you. Clerks, do we have any registered remote testifiers for this item?
Chair, there are none.
If none, is there anyone standing by who would like to testify remotely?
We have one.
Thank you, Clerk. Aloha, Angela Young.
Aloha, Akayaka, Chair, Vice Chair, and the Public Safety Committee. Angela Melody Young testifying in strong support of the Citizens Advisory Commission on Civil Defense. We see emergency response teams being convened in various capacities with this group at the city level, but also at the state. At the state by implementing it for those schools. SB 830 from this year requires DOE to update its emergency response at schools because they saw that there is a need to do that. And also there is a gap between the training being provided and carrying out training and preparedness of personnel during emergencies. The legislation saw that they were trained, but they're not prepared to respond. So the legislation supplements the emergency procedures to help improve responses, develop and maintain a communication method to activate during emergency response with critical team members. And each member is mandated to respond in good faith when activated. So, you know, emergency response teams are critical to supporting the community. And so we just want to support the emergency response teams. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Angela. Are there any other online testifiers?
Chair, there are none.
Thank you. So that concludes our registered testifiers. Members, we are now in discussion. Yes, Councilmember Tupola.
For the director, please, Mr. Toya. Good afternoon. Thank you for being with us. I'm not super versed with this, but are all the commission spots filled for this particular commission?
Yes, there it is.
Okay. And then my last question is, who heads up your community outreach? Formerly, I think Crystal Van Beelen was that for your guys' department. Who is the person that kind of interacts with us on the community level?
That's with the public information officer, and that would be Mr. John Cummings.
John Cummings. Okay, got it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember Tupola. Thank you, Director Toya. Okay, members, the chair recommends that the committee report be reported out for the scheduling of a public hearing and adoption. Any objections? Any reservations? Hearing none, so ordered. Well, mahalo everyone for being here and for your participation today. There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.